Hey everybody, I'm Bill.
And I'm Elizabeth. Live simple,
Live free. And we were just sitting there in the living room and we just had a knock on the door. I came to the back door and it was our son there at the door with a spray bottle.
and he just sprayed his orchard, so he came to make sure he could spray ours, our
Right.
little teeny baby orchard.
Right. He takes care of us like that.
Yes. Here we go. Yeah.
Wow. So this is our wonderful blooming peach tree.
I'll get that later.
But we need to take care of it. We need to spray some stuff.
Yep, so what I'm going to put on it is copper sulfide, or copper sulfate, however you say it. It takes care of peach leaf curl, which is something that peach trees get. Makes all of the leaves curl up weird and affects the fruit badly. And inevitably, when you get them from whatever farm they come from, they're going to end up with that. It's like a bacteria or a fungus or something. I don't know exactly what it is, but copper sulfate takes care of it, and you want to spray it before the buds break and then after the buds break. So I hit all of my trees, so I thought I'd come over here and get you guys' trees too. So the other thing that you guys are definitely going to want to do, as young as this tree is, they're bred, you know, like modern chickens are, to be nothing but meat, but they can't run and walk. So they're bred to have a lot of really big fruit. So a tree this size, if all of these turn into peaches, the whole tree will fall over and break. So what I generally recommend, and what we found with ours, is that you need to nip off a bunch of the buds that are on the ends of the stalks. You can keep, you know, a dozen or so that are real close to the center, where the leverage isn't going to be as bad. But like these, if these were allowed to turn to fruit, this whole thing would just snap off, because these peaches are huge and heavy and amazing, but it'll kill the tree. So
Right.
there's a couple different ways to do that. One would be to go ahead and let them see which ones actually get germinated. After everything falls off, when you see the fruit starting to grow, just nip those off. And that also allows the tree to put all that energy into growing thicker and bigger and stronger, instead of putting all that energy into the fruits. Which, you know, once you have nice big thick trunk, then, you know, once it's 10 or 15 feet, as long as you trim it every year and keep it tight and make sure that it has thick stalks and branches, you can just let it go and you can get gallons of peaches.
Awesome.
Alright, don't get downwind of me. This isn't toxic. It's basically just copper emulsified in water. And copper kills fungus and bacteria and all that kind of stuff. Doesn't hurt a thing.
I'm beyond grateful that we have your expertise available.
Well, what expertise? I don't know. You're going to have a bunch of you are going to be like, no, you're doing it wrong. I'm just doing the way that I have found that works. So I'm sure there's as many different ways of doing this as there are people watching this. But this has worked for me for years, so it's what I do.
Now you said that this is for peach curl,
Peach leaf curl.
peach leaf curl, and also for cedar rust on the apple trees.
Yes, so apple There's a symbiotic relationship. It's really weird. It's a fungus, like a mushroom,
Yeah.
that is only exists if there's an apple tree and a cedar tree within, like, I don't know, a mile or whatever, within the range of each other. And on the way over here, I did see one of the cedar trees that actually had the little blob on it. I can go show you that if you want to see it. So it is in the area, and copper sulfate takes care of that too. So I usually spray all of my apple trees just as a matter of course, but I'll go ahead and hit yours too since I'm here.
Yeah, so we already sprayed that once a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But you said to spray it after it buds, but the buds are still real tiny on that
Yeah, usually you do it once before the buds break, and then after the buds break. Usually twice is fine to keep it. So
Okay.
might wait a little while to do that.
So this is our apple tree. You can see right here, tiny little bud right there. It hasn't really broken open yet. So this is a little early to give it the second spray, but since he's here, he's going to do it anyway. Now we've had quite a few people make comments on our channel that we only have one apple tree, so it's not going to produce anything, because then you need several apple trees in order for them to cross-fertilize. This is a tree that is bred to self-fertilize.
Male and female flowers.
So it doesn't need any other apple trees. However, there are several apple trees not far from here.
Yeah. So one thing with this is it's like crossbreeding a couple of different dogs to get a mutt. You're going to end up with a stronger, more rot-resistant dog, right? So mutts tend to be
Rot-resistant.
Yeah, rot-resistant. Yeah. So it's the same thing with the apple tree that self-fertilizes. You're going to get plenty of fruit, but if there is some other DNA that it can cross with, you're going to get bigger, possibly sweeter fruit, but it's still going to have fruit on it all by itself. You don't have to have others. It's just helpful to have others.
So if the bees come from the other apple trees and then just come over to here, we'll get some cross-pollination.
Yep.
Excellent. Yeah. The tops are gray. Isn't that growth? Or is it just...
Actually fuzz. It's like microscopic little hairs.
Oh, okay. Now we should watch the same thing on this one with too much fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, once it breaks out. So I can go see if I can find that cedar tree.
Sure.
Go see it.
Okay.
Okay, so this is that little fungus I found on the way over there. Right now it's brown because I guess it's died off like a regular mushroom on the ground. Usually they're really bright orange. It looks really out of place with the green foliage of the tree. But yeah, if you ever see one of these things, that means that there's an apple tree nearby, probably within a mile. So if you're ever lost in the woods and you're hungry and it's springtime, look for a cedar tree with brains on it. That means that there's an apple tree nearby.
And there's still this huge one here. Oh my goodness.
So these are the parsnips that we pulled out of our garden the other day. This is actually not the largest one. This is the next to the largest. So we're going to have them for supper tonight. I think, aren't we supposed to peel these?
Mm-hmm. Just like a carrot.
Just like a carrot.
I was just like holding it close to my nose and smelling it.
Yeah.
It smells so good. Yes, it's a wonderful
Big
smell.
tendrils. I don't know if the... Okay, that'll work.
Yeah. Why did I not know about parsnips my whole life? They're so good. Only recently discovered them. That was sure a fun surprise.
I don't even know how to do something this big.
Yeah, just do that much and then just cut it like, think of a large potato. It looks like it stays real good. I know big potatoes and big sweet potatoes do. So I don't think it got woody or anything.
Looks fine.
This is going to be good.
Okay.
Okay, they're sitting in a pot of water and we are going to start cooking them. I'm excited. Well, tonight we're not eating at the table. We're gonna go ahead and enjoy our meal. And we've over the course of time here watched the first and second Hobbit movie, and now we're gonna start the third one. So, be watching that. I'm a big Tolkien buff. So, this is our first meal with our wonderful surprise parsnips that we got out of the garden. And so we've got some parsnips, some bratwurst, which we really liked ever since we lived in Germany. And some just quick and easy, the Thrive Life peas, which I cooked. So it looks like a really nice meal, and just gotta try these parsnips. They are so wonderful.
We just mash them up like potatoes and put butter and salt and pepper on them. Pretty good.
They are delicious. Oh my goodness, they're so good, and I'm so grateful to have this unexpected crop. So, all right, well, we're gonna enjoy our meal.
And our movie.
You what?
And our movie.
Oh yes, and our movie. Yeah, I hadn't seen the Hobbit movies in quite a while, so we're on our third one now. This is going to be the Battle of the Five Armies. Okay, all right, love you guys. We'll see you later.
So this is now a couple days later, and the tree here, the peach blossoms have come out a lot more. What do you think?
Oh, they're so beautiful.
Yeah. Oh. And we've had a couple of weeks of really nice weather. But we got some really cold weather coming in the next 2 nights.
Kind of unusually
cold. Yeah, unusually cold. The low in the next 2 nights are going to be around 21, 22 degrees. Now our last frost date here is May 8th. But usually this time of year, if we do have frost, it's like 31 degrees or 30 degrees. It's not a deep frost like 20 degrees would be. So even if we covered this to try to protect it, a frost that cold I don't believe would protect it, and it probably wouldn't survive anyway. Been talking to Barry and Molly about it. We thought about covering it and maybe putting a drop light underneath of there, and incandescent light to give it a little bit of heat. But then we just decided we're not going to bother.
Yeah, we have to make sure you understand that when we say not make it, we're not talking about the tree. We're talking about the blossoms.
Yeah, it's not going to
and therefore the fruit.
It's not going to kill the tree, it'll just kill the blossoms off. But if you remember when Barry was spraying this the other day, we were talking about this. A tree this small, if we let all of these turn to peaches, it'd be so much weight that it'd break the tree anyway. So he was recommending that we pinch most of them off and just leave a couple that are close to the trunk.
And even at that, that's still a very skinny little trunk.
Yeah, so at any rate, I think we've just decided to let this go, and if the blossoms die off in the cold, so be it. And what that'll do then is we won't have a harvest this year, but we were really only going to get a couple peaches anyway because we're going to have to pinch most of these off. But then that'll allow a lot more vigor to go into the tree and help it to grow better for next year.
When it's still this young, the main goal is to get this tree as strong and thicken it out and let it put all of its energy into growing deeper and stronger.
Right.
You know, and then it'll be producing peaches for us later.
I mean, I only planted this last fall, so it hasn't even been in the ground a year yet.
Yeah. So knowing that it's not going to hurt the tree, but it might take off the blossoms, if we're not going to try to get a peach crop this year, then maybe we'll just let that happen and just let the strength go into just getting a bigger trunk and growing bigger branches and stuff.
Right.
So, but I sure am enjoying these flowers. I'm going to soak it in as much as I can. So, yeah.
So this is very exciting for us. We did do a little bit of gardening several decades ago.
Yeah, we had a garden.
Yeah.
Oh, the kids were little.
So we had a little bit of experience there, but we've never done anything with trees, with an orchard. So
Right.
it's a lot of learning going on here.
Yeah.
And a little bit of excitement too. So anyway, thanks for watching.
Yeah. Wow, since you're downhill from me, I feel so tall and you look so short. Stand up straight. I'm shorter than him, but not now. Anyway, go ahead.
You done?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Live simple.
Live free. You be blessed. We'll see you next time.
Love you guys. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.